for our plan B, we're going to go through the box. Normally, Bill's got this one set up where he's already got the queen below, so I'm not going to have to look for her. But normally, you want to make sure your queen stays in your mother hive when you're making a split. And I want to go in there and get a minimum of 2 frames of brood, and I want the oldest cap brood, which is the darkest cap brood. I want to get at least 2-3 frames of that, and I want to get a frame of food. And so those are the 3 or 4 frames I'm worried about getting. And then probably the next one I put in will be a frame that's nothing on it. Maybe hopefully pulled out wax if you got it. But otherwise, that's what I'm looking for here. Any questions? You didn't want me going in the hive, did you?
Just no. Tell them how we got the queen, isolated queen.
Yeah, what he basically, he's got, and as I'm normally going in here, I'll be looking for the queen everywhere, because you definitely, once you find her, making a split is really easy, because then you just find your brood you want, because you've isolated your queen. Basically, Bill, I don't know how you moved her down there, Bill. I mean, you just
all the bees off the frames.
Yeah. So what he basically does is he'll go in and he'll take the frames one by one, and shake them into the lower box. And if you got an empty box here, and you take them out of that and shake them into the empty box, and then they'll fall on down into the lower box. And what he's done in order that the queen stays down here is he's got a queen excluder here. So now I know that whatever frames I pull here should be without the mother queen. So basically, boy, all of this has got food, Bill. I'm going to leave that one in there. That seems to, well, they're all full of food. I'll put these back in. You may just put these back in there, Bill?
Just replace the ones that you...
Yeah. I'll not pull a food. I've already got some frames over here that have plenty of food already in there. You got a double-sided bottom board here.
That's the bottom.
Huh?
Look at those.
Oh, yeah. Ow! You got electricity in that fence too, don't you? You got electricity in that fence.
How you know?
But basically, one of the frames I want in here is a frame that's got plenty of food on it. And when I say plenty of food, I like to see some honey and some pollen in there. So since he's already got a couple here, I'm not going to worry about pulling a frame out of that box that has food on it. I'm just going to work with these, and I'm going to put one on either side, and then I'm going to try to pull 3 frames of, I always like to start on the edge for me, and I'll loosen up a frame, and that way I can work real good, because normally queen would be up here, so I want to make sure I'm being easy with my queen and not killing her. So after I get the first frame out, then I got plenty of room. So, but I'm just going to keep moving. Normally I would look at each frame, see if I could find the queen, till I found a frame that's got plenty of brood on it. And boy, here I go. That's a good one there. That's what you want to look for. And you want to take all the bees that are on the frame with you. So this is exactly what you're looking for. This one's a little light. Normally you find it a little darker, but he's got these set up here. So I'm going to take this one, put her right in the middle here. Well, these are new frames, Bill. They didn't pull them out this year.
Those from last year.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Now see this one, it's actually got some brood on it, but preferably I would want a full frame of brood rather than brood and food. I want to get as much thought I saw a queen. Ooh, there's queen cell.
Yeah, I saw a queen cell. This cap too.
Yeah, this one's about ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and take this away because we don't want this one and our queen to have any confrontation. Here's another one. And is anything in that one? Yeah, that one's wet too.
What do you mean by wet?
Oh yeah, when I say that queen cell is wet, before they get capped, once they get capped, you don't know. You pretty much assume there's a queen in there and she's got nice food and she's better than 8 days old, so she's only got a few days left, up to 16, to emerge. And I would say this one's probably hitting on day 12 or 13 or more. But then I had one over here. It was a queen cell. It wasn't capped, but it was pretty far along, probably a couple of days from being capped. But it was wet, and if y'all want to walk over here, I mean, these bees are not going to bother you. If you see all that royal jelly off my hive tool here and down in here, there was a larva down there, a queen larva, and they'd already put royal jelly in there for her to consume. Now I'm going to move over here. Here's another one. There was here's another one, the same thing. That was another wet cell. It had a larva down in it, the queen cell, pointed down, already had the larva in there and a lot of royal jelly. And so as long as you just destroy it like that, and you want to make sure you get the larva out, otherwise they'll sometimes build it back around her. And I'm just looking to make sure that, see, there's another one. That one's already capped. So I'm gonna get that one out too, because we don't want to. We got a mated queen here. We don't want to worry with it.
Oh, you got a queen you're gonna drop in?
Yeah. And so see, you can see there's the larva, and then here's another one over here that's capped. I'm gonna get her out too.
Are those
And
emergency
Bill, when was the last
cells?
time you were in here?
I would say these are swarm cells.
Up there.
More than likely these are swarm cells because they got a lot of brood here, and I imagine they just felt like they were. That one, see, that one is a pretty wet one. That's not covered. I'm gonna put that over there because I'm gonna get that one. So I want to make sure she's gone. And seems like I saw another one somewhere.
That one down at the very bottom right there.
No, that's just a drone cell. But you want to make sure you're not putting any queen cells in there that's going to challenge your mated queen you're putting in there. More times than not, she'll probably win, but maybe not. So this one's okay to go. I've got all the swarm cells off of that, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this one over here also. Again, I'm putting the 3 of these right in the middle. Normally what I would do is have a frame of food here. I would put my 2 or 3 frames here, and this far frame over here would probably be an empty frame that they can build out, because you'll be surprised, this dark larva is going to hatch rather quickly. And once it does, that little 5-frame nuke is going to fill up really fast. You see any queen cells here? Are we good?
Yes, sir. I don't see any.
I don't either.
So that 5-frame nuke fills up, then you're gonna go back with this configuration.
Well, yeah, you'll move that up. Y'all see any swarm cells I need to worry about?
Nope.
What about this right here? What's that? What's that right there? Is that a swarm cell?
Right there?
Yeah.
This might be a drone.
Yeah, I think that's a drone cell. Good call. So we're going to go ahead and take this one. Looks real good. No No queen cells here. So now I've got my 3 frames that I want. And I've secured that my queen, don't want to back. So I've got my bees out that I wanted. At this point, what I'm going to do is just take these frames that I've got. Whatever frames you take out, you need to go ahead and replace.
Is there any kind of thing that you should replace them with? Just anything, or?
Well, preferably if you've got drawn out comb, I'd rather put drawn out comb in here. But if your comb's not drawn out, just make sure it's waxed real well. And typically in the spring, I'm going to move these 2 over to the center because they're empty. They don't have any food in them. And they'll come in and once Bill lets the queen back in there, they'll lay. So I'm going to take these over here because they got food on them. And I would prefer my bees to have the food on the end. That one has nothing in it. And then that way all of the ones in the middle are there for laying. Because typically that's where she's going to be. And if you're looking for her, if I'm just going into a hive, not making a split, and I just want to make sure my queen's there, that's where I want to look, is these center frames, because that's where you're probably going to have some eggs and young larvae. And as long as you see eggs and young larvae, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it. So now I've got everything out of here that I want. I've ensured that my queen, who wants to hang on to these?
Yeah.
I'll hold them.
Just put them in your hand. They're not going to bother you. There you go. I want you to try it. You need to learn to work bees without gloves. If you don't hurt the bee, she's not going to hurt you. And we might as well just load your hangers up here.
Pressing my luck.
All right, now you can do something with it. She's not going to live anyway. Once we,
Off the base, so pretty much.
yeah, we'll just put them down here. And at that point, then I'm going to go ahead and cover this hive up. I've ensured my queen's still in here, so my mother hive is safe. A lot of people, when they make, and I don't like to do it, a lot of people when they make nuke splits, they'll take the mother queen and put her in here. I don't care to do that. I'd rather put my new queen in this, leave my mother queen in there, so she's not disturbed. Bill, what's your preference? That's same way, yeah. You know, but a lot of people will say, all right, you need to get the mother queen away. I'm going to try to set this up here without getting into this fence, so you can come and see what I'm going to do with the queen. Y'all come on in. They're not going to bother you. Now, I've got the...
Line, I'm going to be mad.
If you're going to be a beekeeper, you're going to get stung. Now that I've got everything I want in this nuke except for the queen, so I've got to put her in there, and she's got some little companions in there that is going to keep her busy. You got fondant here. You want to leave this closed or put it in? I know you, yeah. Bill does it a little different. Sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I'll just go ahead and open it up to the fondant where they can start cleaning, getting it out, which means they're probably going to release her in 2 to 3 days. It's really safe sometimes to wait 4 or 5 days, and Bill, what he'll do is he'll leave this on for a little while, and he'll come back a little later on, and then he'll take that off. You see, they already recognize there's a queen here, and then they'll come after 2 or 3 days and take this off. Then he knows he's 3 days away. Or it might be that he even comes in, see them all migrating over here. He might even come over and after they've done that, release her on the frame to see if they accept her. If they don't accept her, you put her back in here for a few more days. More times than not, if you give them 3 to 5 days, they're going to accept the queen. A lot of times what I do is I take a toothpick and I stick it through here, and I'll hang it in the top of the frame like this. It's hanging across the board. I don't have a toothpick, so the main thing you want to do is when you put her in there, you want to fix her so a lot of the outside is facing, and this one, there's no way she's going to go in like that. So I'm going to have to put her in like this. And you want to put her between two brood frames. The frame over here with brood, frame over here with brood. So I'm going to put her down between those. Next thing you got to worry about that there's not a lot of honey right there. Because if you squish her into that honey, you're going to drown her. So you want to put her right here and make sure that there's no honey on either side. Also, if you're going to feed this nuke, you're going to use a center hole and feed it. Don't put her right there under that center hole. You want to cut her away from that. That way the food that you feed them is not going to get her wet, nor is honey going to drown her. So what I'll do is try to pull her right in here, and then I'll pull these boxes in and squish her in right there. And now she's ready to go.
So better that or better the toothpick thing?
Either one's fine. I'd just like to do the toothpick because it, you know, if something happens, she doesn't fall all the way down.
Right.
And that's not the worst thing that could happen, but if I put the toothpick in there, I know it's going to stay up here with that.
She's becoming quite popular.
Oh yeah, they already know they've been queenless now. I guess since he set it up yesterday, they've been up here in the top, and their queen's been down here. So they've had a lot of brood without a queen. So yeah, they're really happy to see her. Any questions?
Would there ever be a situation where you're trying to split but you don't have a mated queen?
Yeah, well, you can, yeah, and there are, and it depends on the time of year. Normally, this time of the year, I'd say as late as say the second, third week of March. You can do what I call a walk-away split. I can take these frames of brood. I don't have a queen, so what I'll do is take a frame of eggs. And I'll put that frame of eggs right in the center. And as long as I know it's late enough that I'm going to have drones that can mate with that queen, then I'll do that. Because if you pull the eggs, then you know it's going to be at least, depending on, say it's just a day-old egg, and then it's going to be 15 days before that queen ever emerges. By that time, I'm into first week in April. I should have plenty of drones out there. She's going to roam around in the nuke for at least a week, maybe 10 days, and then she'll start going out and mating. So now I'm in second week, third week of April, got plenty of drones out there. So it's a good chance you're going to come from an egg to a queen cell and have a mated queen. That was what I call a walk-away split. But you want to come back in and make sure they've built you some queen cells. Otherwise, you just put the bees together and they didn't build a queen cell. Eventually, you're going to have one of Bill's laying worker situations when they don't build one. But that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it, if there is queen cells, you can do a split with queen cells, like Bill talked about earlier. You just want to take one of those frames. You don't need a mated queen, and you can do a split with her, and then she'll emerge soon. Give her about a week or so, and come back and check, make sure she's out. She's not going to start laying a lot away. As I said, she's going to stay in a hive a week, 10 days, and then she'll go out and get mated. So about 10 days later, you want to see some eggs around. Another situation is I can start a split like this. I don't have a queen. I don't have a queen cell. And I'm not working with eggs. What I can do is buy a queen cell from Bill, maybe, if he's growing queen cells. And I can take that queen cell and put it in here. And you want to put it in the same situation right here in the top. There's a little carrier you can put those in so they're well protected. And so same situation as this queen. Make sure you don't put her under the food. Make sure you're not squeezing her into food. And then what happened, that queen cell will eventually hatch. And then again, week 10 days, she'll go out and get mated. Good to have your queen. So those are about the different ways you can build a nuke. I know Bill talked about late as September. Typically, my favorite time to do splits and plan Bs, as I like to call them, is normally from about the third week in March all the way till about July. And I think everybody, if you only got 1 or 2 hives, you need a plan B. There's probably 6 to 8 different queen events you can have. Bill talked about some of them. But if you have a queen event and you have one of these sitting around, all your problems are satisfied, because from probably March through May, it's going to be difficult to find a queen. But if you got one already, you got one. And regardless of what happens down in this box to your queen, you can drop this in there. You've got a mated queen, an operating hive. You can drop this in here in this way Bill said, putting some newspaper down below, put her up here in the top, and they'll eventually, whatever queen event you've had, whether it's, I've got a cow that's coming loose, so y'all have to, I can't get a dentist appointment till Thursday. But anyway, regardless of what the situation is, whether it's a soup procedure or you killed the queen, it's just a swarm, you lost them in a swarm. There could be a lot of different reasons to have a queen event. Maybe she's just too old and she died, she ran out of sperm. But if you've got one of these sitting around, whether you've got 1 or 2 hives, it doesn't matter. With even one hive, you need one of these sitting next to it, because then whatever queen event you have, don't you sing me, you can put this in there and the bees will hardly not, they might lose a week, but they're not going to lose the nectar season. Because if you lose your queen here in April, the new queen that I put in there, this one's already laying and putting brood in there, but if I put a new queen in there and they raise a new queen, it's going to be 60 days before one of her children ever get out to forage for you. The nectar season's over with. This satisfies everything. Always have 1 or 2 nukes. I like to do them in March, second week of April. You're going to have to order your queens if you're going to do it with a queen sometime in January. Otherwise, you can do, like I talked about, walk-away split. That's actually the only one, because you don't want to plan on having queen cells. I hate swarms, so I don't want any queen cells in my hives. And the other time I like to do it is in July, because or in the good time to introduce a queen is in July. Normally it takes a queen about 5 months to get to full potential. So if I build one of these in July or put a new queen into this hive in July, by next spring, either this or the new hive, the queen is going to be ready to go, full potential. And it's always good to try to requeen. I don't know, Bill gets good success out of some of his queens. I had one queen that lasted 6 years before they superseded her. But before that, I'd get 3 and 4 years out of the queen. Right now, if I get 2 years out of a queen, I'm happy. Every time I try to go into the 3rd season with a queen, I tried 4 this year over winter. I've replaced every one of them, and now I've got a new queen in the hive. I should have done that early, and they'd be kicking. So anyway, those are some of the situations you can do, with that. Any other questions?
Why do you put them in a nuke? Why not put them in another 10 frame?
Well, the thing about it, if you put them into a 10 frame situation, there's not enough bees here to protect this much area. So now we're putting them into a half a hive, and it's much easier for them to protect this area rather than having to worry about there's 5 or 6 empty frames out there, because it's going to be, it'll take this one probably with a mated queen in 3 weeks, probably gonna have to get them out of here, 3 to 4 weeks maximum. So at that point, yes, you can move them up to a 10 frame, but if they're gonna sit there 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and never get to those outside frames, then that's too long. Something else can get in there, because they don't have enough bees to protect that much area.
So, is it important to when you set this nuke out somewhere, does it need to be a distance from the mother hive that you got the brood?
Some of the books will tell you take them 2 miles away. No, I've got my nukes, sometimes they're right here.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're 50 feet away, 100 foot away. What's happening, when I pull bees out of here, the way Bill had it set up, I probably only have nurse bees, because everybody else is downstairs. The nurse bees came up with this brood. Normally, when I'm pulling frames, I'm probably getting nurse bees and field bees. What's going to happen? All my field bees are going to go back to the mother hive within the day. And so all I'm going to maintain is just the nurse bees over there, because they don't fly yet. So that's the only consideration of moving it 2 miles away. Yes, you'll keep your field bees, but it's not necessary.
Right.
So, you know, just put them on your same property. No problem. Any other questions? Everybody gonna get a plan B along with their hive? Because if you do, you'll be a safer beekeeper, more sustainable.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Where'd you get that mated queen?
What?
Where'd we get the mated queen? One of yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Queen class.
Yeah. He thinks I put it in there. She's in my pocket.
Legitimate question, wasn't it?
Another milk queen right there if you want.
Yeah. Not mated though.
Yeah.
At that point, if we have no other questions, then what we can do is put this on there, and I need a little something cover.
Right here.
That'd be fine. Let me have that. I'll cover that hole up with a feeder until Bill gets food on it. And that's the next thing I didn't say. Now that I've made this split, I need to feed it today. Not tomorrow. I know I'll put some food in here, but I can tell you there's been some times that I've made splits and I got real busy and it's late in the day and I said, oh, I'll come back tomorrow. Some of them aren't there. They just didn't have any food and they said, bees are bees and they're going to do different things. So now that I've got this done, I'm hoping Bill's got some food he can put on here. So you feed them right away. And I want to continue to feed them for the next at least 2 to 3 weeks till they get this full. Once this gets full and I've got some food in there, then I'm okay to move them over here, especially in the spring like that, and let them take care of themselves. Plan B. All right, I guess that's it. No other questions?
This is the last time you get a chance to ask. Any questions?
Well, it's not